Well, good morning. Miss Pyaar and I are out and about. Not too much investigating right off the bat this morning for her. And let's check out our weather. A little wispy cloud there. Couple over the mountain. Not too shabby. And as you can see by the flags, a slight breeze. Just enough to make it absolutely perfect. A perfect morning. Yes. And how are you, my gorgeous friends? How are you? Oh, let's see. How did you sleep? What was your day like yesterday? What challenges did you face and overcome? What got left unresolved? My stepdaughter was traveling and her flights evidently got delayed by everything that she was posting. So if you were traveling yesterday, I hope your travels went smooth. If you're traveling this weekend, I hope they go well. But from her most recent post on Facebook, she made it to her destination and she is off and at 'em, making the absolute most of what time she has, which is exactly what we should all be doing. Making the most of the time we have. Because that time is just not guaranteed to us. It is not. Yeah, it's not. We feel like and think, oh wait, I think I saw a little white tail, but I did. Hold on. Oh, I can't even get this turned around fast enough to give you the bunny view. But yeah, we should be making the most of everything that we have, that we can do. It's very cliche, right? Don't put off today don't put off for tomorrow what you can do today. Not just in the work realm, but also in your life. Here in America, as a whole, we're very hustle culture, right? We work, bang it away, trying to, make the money. Some of us save the money, some of us spend the money. Yeah, that's me. I mean, I make it, I spend it, I don't save it. It's where my husband balances me out. He tries to, anyway. And it's tough. It's tough with me. He deserves some kudos there. But yeah, sometimes we spend so much time grinding, hustling, make the dollar, that we miss a lot of what's going on in our life, what's going on around us. And we get burnt out, right? Burnout happens. Happens in every area of life. Sometimes, it happens with, say, kids that are in college, right? When they're really driven. And they're like, no, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get these grades, This is my path. And they burn out because they're just tired, and they don't get why. They don't get why they're tired. And again, that applies to everything, right? We're new to a job. We want to make a good first impression. We want to make a good impression, period. And we really give it our all. And we bang away, bang away, bang away. Even when we care for other people, you don't have to have a job outside the home. You could be a caretaker, a stay-at-home mom or dad. We do have those these days. Few and far between, but we got them. But when that is your 110% focus, and you're not taking care of you and what feeds your soul, then, and we have longevity in this, right? I mean, we can go for a while. It's not like people burn out right away. We go for a long time. And then all of a sudden, we have that, it's all of a sudden we're like, I don't give a fuck. And it feels like all of a sudden, but it's just been slowly building. We have a hard time getting up in the morning. Kind of dread going into work. Sometimes we dread going into work because it's a little bit of a toxic work environment. We kind of don't like the people we work for or with, but we still go. That's different than burnout. Okay, burnout is just like I said, you've been hitting it so hard. Just 110%, 200%. And you're just like, you're ready to just give. You're ready to go. You get these feelings like you don't care anymore, that it doesn't matter. And people that are aware that this is going on and happening will then sit there and kind of question themselves, like, what's wrong with me? Every field has this. I can use the medical field because that's what I work in, is the medical field. And doctors and nurses, so much is expected out of them. They give so much. And they give so much. I mean, you put so much into your career, right? Even corporate people, you put a lot of effort into your education, your early education, so that you can get to the space you want to be. But in order to be at that space, there's continuing education that has to happen. And then expectations keep rising. And in order to meet those expectations, you have to give more. You have to put more time in. You have to put more effort in. Right? And whether that effort is mental, emotional, or physical. And for a lot of careers, it's all three. It's just like there's enough. It's enough. I'm done. I can't anymore. I just can't. Those are the thoughts. Those are the words. So how do we avoid burnout? Come on, you. Well, we try and take care of ourselves in between. And what does taking care of yourself look like? Sometimes, and I think at different stages in life, taking care of yourself looks differently. I think that's important too. The hug. VW. It's in really good shape, but a lowrider. So what does taking care of yourself look like? I said that it varies by age, because our priorities change as we age. All right. Some things are basic, right? Taking care of ourselves, the basic things, getting enough sleep. We really need to get enough sleep. I went years and years. And when I say years and years, I mean a good 12 years, running on anywhere from 3 to 5 hours of sleep. My nervous system was just on high alert, right? All the time. Kind of, waiting for that call, waiting for that other shoe to drop. And even when you try to sleep, it doesn't happen. You're not able to. And I understand that. Then there are times we got some thumping happening again from the garage. And sometimes you're just not able to. Or we think we're sleeping, but it's really fitful and it's not restful sleep. So sleep is number one. Nutrition. Are we giving our bodies what it needs in order to function properly? We think, because we're giving it a glass of water, a cup of coffee, piece of toast in the morning, maybe we eat some fast food for lunch, and then dinner, whatever. And those things, again, also change as we age, right? Because a lot of people live on fast food drive-through. Is it healthy for us? No, of course not. It's convenient. And when you're living the hustle and the grind, it's the convenience that matters, right? It's, okay, I'm going from point A to point B. I haven't eaten anything at all today, and it's 2 p.m. I'm not hungry, but I know I need to eat something. Let me just drive through McDonald's, Burger King, whatever it is, and get a cheeseburger. Your body needs more than that, needs better than that. It deserves more and better than that. Girl, why do you do that? Some dog pees on the ground and then she's going to pee on top of it on the ground. I know why. It's rhetorical. But then we're not really taking care of ourselves because we're not feeding ourselves. And that's that actual nutrition, sustenance for the physical form. And then what are we doing for our emotional health? Are we talking to people? Are we letting people know our troubles, our frustrations? Sometimes we don't have people in our lives we feel we can talk to. What do I mean by that? We have friends and acquaintances that we speak with, but not always that heartfelt, deep conversation. Not always the ones where we're like, oh, this happened at work today. We have aging parents, somebody to talk to about that. You've got kids, all the trials and tribulations of parenting that, we need people to talk to. If you don't have people in your life, friends in your life that will either listen, because sometimes they're well-meaning and they start to give you their own stories. And usually it's an effort to be relatable, but it always feels like they're throwing their story, or I shouldn't say always is not a true thing, but it'll often feel like they're lessening your situation and wanting to just offload their own. And then there are just some people that point blank don't want to hear about it. They're only there for the good times, and life is not all good times. We've got lots of challenges in life every single day. So just knowing that there's someone to talk to, and then taking advantage of that, talk to somebody. Okay? Make sure you talk to them. And if you don't have those people in your life, that girlfriend or guy friend that you can just sit down, oh, there's the bug again, and kind of offload. Have that emotional vomit, get it over with. Because sometimes, as the friend, we just need to be the witness. We don't have to give people the answers to their problems. We just need to be able to listen. Active listening is not easy. That should be another topic for another video. Listening. We will. Because that's a good topic. But that's taking care of like your emotional self. And then we have our spiritual self. And what does that mean? Oh, good God, is she going to become a Bible thumper? No, that is not what that means. Okay. What does that mean to take care of your spiritual health? It means giving yourself that quiet time to just go inside, to not have all the noise, turn off the noise. I would say put down the phone, but sometimes we use the phone just to play some ambient music in the background, like ocean sounds, something like that, that will help you to just kind of clear. Because it's not always easy to turn off everything going on inside. Now, some people will say they like to sit in prayer. I like to be in meditation. And you can call it whatever you want, your quiet time. But make sure you give yourself that. And sometimes that comes in the form of, I know a lady that liked to run. And that was her time and space. Oh, their stairs came out so nice, so pretty. But that was her time and space. So she was feeding her physical body by giving it exercise, which was great. But she'd hit this certain point in her run, and everything else disappeared. And it's just the breath and the sound of the feet hitting the pavement and the feel of the wind that you're creating with the run, like hitting you, and maybe the sweat that's coming off of you. You're just in that moment. You are just so in tune to just that moment. That's taking care of your spiritual health. Everything else, all that noise has died away, and it is just that moment. And I'm not saying everybody needs to take up running. I am not taking up running. So that's not happening. But for me, when I go for a hike, yes, I'm paying attention to my surroundings, but there's no distractions. I am in that moment. I am completely focused on where my foot is landing, what I'm feeling under my foot, the sounds that are around me. And when it's really quiet and there are no sounds, that's just that beautiful bit of bliss. And even when there's no sounds, and I say no sounds, sometimes there's the wind blowing, like right now there's a wind blowing, and I can hear traffic. It just sounds like water, like ocean waves off in the distance. So, there are ways that we can find that quiet and that solitude and then tune into it, because it is so important. There's the bug again. Must be, it's got passengers this time. I'm going to guess, just a guess, that the vehicle was probably recently redone. And he's just out taking the little test drive around the neighborhood, making sure that the engine works and it's not going to die on him, kind of thing. Because there was a young girl in the back and an older person in the front. And they're maybe going around the block together. Who knows? We'll find out if they pass us again. But taking care of you to get at your spiritual self, right? And it all sounds very yogic. Yoga. Yoga means to yoke, to bring together mind, body, and spirit. And I do try and incorporate that into my classes. We will have a chat. We'll talk about whatever it is, recipes, food, happenings for the weekend. But there are those times and those moments where we just are quiet and we're just focused on the breath. Just those inhales and exhales. And of course, I think yoga is a wonderful way to accomplish that bit of self-care. But it by all means is not the only way. I'm not narrow-minded. There are plenty of ways. And there will be people out there that are, making a joke of it because it's hard to do. Like, oh yeah, I get to zone out when I'm drunk. No, you don't. Just like people that drink to fall asleep. We're not actually getting good sleep. Doesn't work like that. Oh, this house is going on the market too. I'll have to look that one up. See what it's going for. What the specs are on it. Doesn't have much of a backyard. Certainly couldn't fit a swimming pool in there. So I know in the past I've talked about self-care. And sometimes self-care also looks like getting your hair cut. Putting yourself on your calendar so that you can make the time to either sit in silence for 5 minutes. First thing in the morning is great. Sets the tone for your whole day. You cultivate that peace and calm. Really does work. Really does make a difference. But again, some people will get up in the morning and they'll read a favorite passage from the Bible. They'll journal. Journaling is also an excellent thing to do. Helps you to change your mindset. Mindset's another conversation we can have. But this one's more so about just taking care of you holistically. And by holistically, I don't mean just naturally, but as a whole being. Not just your sore shoulder or knee or your bad back, but everything. So get up and move. Help the physical body. Drink plenty of water. Okay? Our bodies need that fluid. If you live in states where it gets really hot, and we are in the summertime, for most of us it's summertime. Here in Arizona, Florida, Texas, anywhere really. I mean, it gets bloody hot. And we're sweating and we're losing a lot in our sweat. So not just water, but make sure you get some of those electrolytes in there somehow. However you do that. Gatorade, Powerade, Liquid IV, that Javi stuff that I was telling you about yesterday. Get some electrolytes in there. Come on, girly. So we take care of ourselves. Oh, the neighbor's got a new flag. Let me show you. New flag. Oh, you don't need to see me that up close, do you? All right. So, the body, we get some exercise, we have some movement. You know, a lot of think we need to just like maybe drop the word exercise and just replace it with movement. Let's move our bodies, whatever that looks like. If you're stuck in a wheelchair and those legs don't actually work, move those arms. Look like one of those things on the side of the road, those inflatable things that are drawing you into a store. Move your arms. Move your torso if you have that ability. Even if you're seated in a chair, in a wheelchair, you can twist side to side. Oh, right, as far as you can go. And each time you do it, you'll be able to go a little bit further. If you got legs, but they're not that strong, lift your knee towards your chest. Okay? Maybe that foot only comes off the ground a smidge. Maybe the foot actually doesn't even come off the ground, but you can feel the pressure change. There's less pressure. That's still movement. And the more you do that, then the more you'll be able to do. And I'm not sitting here telling people to go run a marathon. I'm not telling you have to go and do an hour and a half hot yoga class. I mean, go to the gym and sweat it out. You don't have to do all of that stuff. Jeff's outside taking the trash. Pyaar sees him. I'm going to let her run. Can you see her? So get some movement. Give yourself that quiet time. Eat something nourishing. That can sometimes be hard, right? Because old habits are hard to break. And if we're used to our fast food culture, if we're used to doing the drive-through and getting something that's really, you know, hey, we know it's not good for us. There's nobody out there that doesn't know what good nutrition is and about. It does become a matter of just being able to get it. Sometimes it's financial. Sometimes it's convenience. Sometimes it's just laziness. So if we can just start small, and what do I mean by start small? Maybe just one of those meals or that snack be a healthy thing. You know, and everybody's idea of healthy is going to be a little bit different. I will also say that. I will acknowledge that. Okay. I mean, I might consider it a win if I get a salad in, or I have a couple of vegetables. That could be my win. And then for somebody, say like my sister, who is used to eating far more healthy all the time, you know, that could look different. It could be upping the vegetables. It could be changing her healthy fat. It could be, you know, maybe she stops eating meat again and becomes a vegetarian again. You know, whatever it is, that healthy is going to be different for all of us. And we all know what that is. We all know how to eat something nutritious. If you're not sure how to make something nutritious, reach out to me. Let me know. I'll help you make small changes so that you're not tasting something for the first time going, ugh. Ooh, I can't believe people eat this. That's gross, right? Because you can just start by making small changes and then get the body used to that small change and the taste buds used to that small change. And then we can, you know, make another small change to that same thing. And then eventually, before you know it, you've taken that, let's say deep fried chicken, and you're now getting that same sensation, but in a different way. Yes, it's possible. It really is. So if you want help with that, just let me know. Reach out in the comments. You can direct message me, private message me, whatever they're calling it, DM, PM, I have no idea. Just reach out. if you don't want to be in the comments. But sometimes being in the comments and posting that helps, because I'm one person with one set of ideas when there's thousands of other people out there with thousands of other sets of ideas that maybe have tried something different than what I've tried, that may appeal to you more than what my suggestion is going to be. So it's okay to go ahead and put stuff in the comments. Let's go ahead and build that community. So we talked about movement, right? Feeding that physical body. So feeding it with movement and nutrition. We talked about that emotional connection that we need, that, God, talk to somebody, talk to your friends. In today's world where so many of us work from home, sometimes we don't even leave our house. And it's just what we have going on here. And then you're not even putting anything in the comments, so that's even less connection. So start to develop that connection. It doesn't have to be strictly through these kind of channels. But if you're not used to getting out there and interacting with other humans, this is a nice place to start. And it's just a start. And then we also talked about that spiritual health, feeding yourself spiritually, whatever that looks like. Doesn't mean you're going to church 3 times a week. It doesn't mean that you're sitting there reading the Bible and talking about the Bible, and it could, but that's not what it has to mean. So let's work on taking care of ourselves, especially as we move into the weekend. It's kind of a nice way to try and, ease into a little bit more self-care, having the weekend. And let me know how it goes for you. I know we were supposed to have story time about Nick. That didn't happen today. Don't worry, I have not forgotten, and we will pick up on the Nick stories. All right. But in the meantime, I thank you so much for tuning in, for watching. I hope that you have an amazing day. I hope that I'm in frame also, because the sun is right in my face. And I hope that everything just goes really well for you. And whatever it is you're doing with this weekend, share with us. I did post 2 sets of pool updates, so do check that out. It was days 26, 27, and 28. Yes, we're 28 days of work into the pool, and we'll have another pool update today at some point. They're obviously not here yet, but it's very early right now. So, yeah, I hope you have an amazing day. Have a great weekend. I will check in tomorrow. Whatever it is I do, wherever it is I go, I'll take you with me. We'll have a little adventure together. And I hope you have an amazing morning, afternoon, evening, wherever it is that you're at, whenever it is that you're watching. And I will speak to you very soon. Bye.